Hello everybody, this vlog today is all about how to get the O1 visa because I've had lots of people asking me about the process and how it all works, so I thought I'd do a little vlog that just explains the process to give you a bit of clarity. So just a little bit about the visa. The one that I have is an O1 visa and it's for artists of extraordinary ability. So if you are an actress, singer, dancer, casting director, writer, director, those kind of things, the O1 is the visa that you want to be looking at. So the first thing that you need is to have a sponsor. Now a sponsor can be a manager, an agent or a production company can sponsor you, and that's an American company that is saying we want such and such to come and work for us here. So I'd always recommend going for an agent or manager to be your sponsor, because if you're sponsored by a production company you can only work for that production company. On the other hand, if you're sponsored by an agent or a manager, you can work for different companies because you're still working for your sponsor. You're still sort of associated with your sponsor, who's your agent or manager. So it just allows you freedom to work for different companies. So once you have your sponsor, you need to start getting your case together for immigration. And that seems to be what takes the most time. That's what took me the most time. And that's getting all the information together to prove to immigration that you are an artist of extraordinary ability and that you should come to work in America because you are going to bring them lots of money and all sorts of goodness. That's what you're proving. So you need to pass 3 out of 6 different categories to be approved for the visa. So I'm going to just talk through like the different categories and explain them briefly. One of the things you need to prove is that you've had a lead or starring role in a production that's had a distinguished reputation. So what that means is that you've been involved in a show, either a TV show, a movie, a theatre piece that has been recognised and is well respected, and that you have had a lead or critical role in that production. So for example, if you've done a short film that has been submitted and has got into film festivals and has done really well at that, that's great because obviously the project is distinguished because it's been in festivals and has won festivals, festival awards. If you have been on EastEnders, then that's another example because you've had a role in a production that is distinguished in the UK. So the second category is national or international recognition, and what that comes down to is basically just press. You need to show that you've had press and that you've been recognised nationally and internationally. So if you have any press from either newspapers, radio interviews, online interviews, get that information and submit that. Another category to pass is lead or critical or starring role for an organisation with a distinguished reputation. So that is that you've had a lead or starring role for an organisation, a company that is well respected and organised. So for example, if you've had something that was on the BBC is a distinguished organisation. If you've done a film with Paramount, any kind of, or if you've done a commercial for, I don't know, BlackBerry. Another category to pass is proof of commercial success. So what that means is that you have been involved in either a film or a theatre show, or you've been involved in something that has either done well at the box office or has sold out audiences and has made money. Basically, you're proving to them that you are involved in things that make money. So, for example, if you've been in a film, what were the box office sales of that movie? How much money did it make? If you were in a play, what were the ticket sales? Even if you've been to like the Edinburgh Fringe and sold out a venue there, stuff like that is great. Another category to pass is recommendation letters. So they're huge. So either people call them references or letters of recommendation, and they are from people in the industry who are well respected. Everything's all about having respect. And so with your recommendations, you need about 7 to 10 of them from different people that you've worked with. And they are basically, what they need to say is who the person is that's writing the recommendation, because it can't just be your mum, it has to be somebody in the industry. So they have to explain who they are and why they're a recognised figure in the industry, what they've done, etc. Then they have to say how they know you. So a lot of mine were by directors, people that I've worked with. So it's like, they met me at an audition and how they know me. And then it's why they think that you are an artist of extraordinary ability and why they think that you should get your O1 visa. So yeah, so you need about 7 to 10 of those. you know, think of all the people that you've worked with. I've had them from directors, writers. Who else did I have my recommendations by? People at drama school, some of my tutors at drama school who are directors and stuff like that. Can't remember now, it was a while ago. So the recommendation letters are really important, because when I was getting my case together, I was saying, I hope that I can pass at least 3 of these 6 categories. And my lawyer said, well, you're already okay, because you've already passed 3 categories just by your recommendation letters. And I was like, what? How's that the case? And he was like, well, 1, they're your recommendation letters, so you've passed that. 2, they all talk about how you've had a lead or critical role in a distinguished performance. And they also talk about how you've had a lead or critical role in a distinguished organisation. So actually my reference letters covered quite a lot of the visa. Another category is evidence of high salary. So that is you proving to immigration that you make a lot of money as an actor. So this was explained to me by my lawyer as the average actor in America earns less than, I think it's $2,000 per month through acting, specifically acting. Most actors earn less than $2,000 a month. So if you can prove that you earn $2,000 or more per month through acting, then you are earning more than the average actor. So you don't have to be a millionaire, but you can still prove evidence of high salary with that. So you only need to pass 3 out of those 6. But it's always good to give as much information as possible and try and prove them all, because you want to pass as many as possible. What you also need to do is do a biography. So that's what I did. Talked about all my training at all the drama schools that I've been to, all the successes that I've had, all the things that I've done. I also talked about, you also have to provide a CV, a resume, as Americans like to call it. So in that, put everything down that you've done, everything. And I also submitted proof of everything that I put on my resume as backup that I've done it. So I had either stills from all my shows, or I had theatre programs from all the theatre things that I've done. Just proved everything. Then you need to get what's called deal memos. And if you want to, the O1 visa can last for 3 years. And if you want a visa that's valid for 3 years, your deal memos need to last for the duration of those 3 years. And what they are for, basically they are job offers from a company to show to immigration that you are going to be working here and that you have got work here. Now, you are allowed to change the itinerary of your visa. So, for example, if you've got a deal memo saying that you're going to be here doing a show for 3 years, and you get another job offer, and you get another job while you're here, you don't have to go to immigration to change anything. You can do that job. That's okay. That's allowed. So once I got all the information together, all the proof that I am an artist of extraordinary ability, I sent it to my lawyer, and they compiled the case, put it all together. Then what needs to happen is the case gets sent to 2 unions. So as an actress who's mainly done film and TV, mine went to SAG-AFTRA, and it went to another kind of TV film related union. And then the unions have to approve the case. If you are a musician, then it will go to 2 music-related unions. If you mainly do theatre, it will probably go to the American Equity as one of the union things. So it has to go to your case goes to 2 unions to be approved. Once the unions have approved it and sent it back, then your case goes to immigration. And normally it takes around, well, mine took about 2 weeks for them to review it and make a decision. Once the decision's been made and you've been approved, you need to go to a US consulate or embassy and have an interview. I thought at this point, because I just thought once you've got it, you've got it. But at that point, at the interview, they can actually deny you, which is a little bit scary. Don't be too freaked out. But yeah, you have an interview with somebody there, and then they say yes or no. They stamp your passport with the visa and will courier it back to you. It's slightly different. So say, for example, you're already in the US and you've been on a student visa and you're applying for your O1, or you've been on a different work visa and you apply for your O1 and you get it. Once you've been approved by immigration and you're already here, it's fine, you're already here. But the embassy meeting is only when you're not in the country, you're not in America, and you need to get the visa stamp to enter America. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So a few important things to know. One, when you're on an O1 visa, you can only do the things that are specifically what it says on your visa. Mine is acting like spokesperson. I can act in like TVs, commercials, movies, and it's very specific. So if you are a performer or a model or any of those things, make sure that when your case is being written up, that they're specific about what you do, because you could get in trouble further down the line if what you're doing is not what it says in the visa. So with that being said, you can't go and do completely unrelated jobs like work in a bar or work in a shop. So I'm just going to talk you through the cost that I spend, just so that you've got an idea of how much it costs. My legal fees were $3,500. That was for the lawyers. To send your case off to 2 unions, for the unions to approve it, costs $250 each. So for 2 of the unions, so if you have to send it to 2 unions at $250 each, that's $500 for the unions to approve your case. And then the filing fees for immigration are $325 for the filing fees. If you want to fast track your visa and get an answer within 2 weeks, I think that's like an extra $1,000. But I just did the regular filing thing and I got my answer in 2 weeks. So it just depends on how, if you're rushing to come out for a job, then you might want to spend the extra money just to guarantee that it's done. So the total cost for me came to around $4,325. And there's also extra things such as FedExing, printing, things like that. You have to pay for the embassy meeting, it was £90, so I can't remember how much that is in dollars, but that's another thing that you have to pay. So what I'd suggest is just, getting in touch with some lawyers, doing your research. Some of them do free consultations, so they can explain this process again, and you can talk to them about your experience and whether or not they think that you've got a good case, because be realistic about it. If you've not done anything, then it's probably not best to spend all that money. But yeah, it's definitely worth to check in with them and see. So I hope that helps. And let me know what you want me to do for my next vlog. Here's what I'm thinking. Let me put it out there. I'm going to ask you, what do you want to see me vlog about? Or what do you want to know about? And I'll talk about it. If this was helpful, subscribe and like it and share it, because that's the whole point. Until next time, thank you. Bye.